morning, everybody. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Wendy Yee.
I'm Chris Yee.
What is in that drink?
Are you being poisoned?
No, it's terrible.
By yourself? I mean, let's be honest. Nobody else has touched that cup.
That's true. That's true. What flavor did you pick?
I put a couple together.
Got it.
You know, like a kid, we call them suicides. This is terrible. What? Anyway, I'm probably going to drink it the whole time.
This is going to be a great show, everybody.
Welcome to Board Game Breakfast, normally on Mondays, now on Wednesday. We're going to start this off with something good for you, which is a contest for a copy of Mosaic, this small game sitting right here, which I'm afraid if I bump with my elbow, I will kill Wendy. We played this live on the channel. Fantastic game. I'll be reviewing it in the next few weeks. But there's a crowdfunding going on right now. We have a link to that in the description below for the expansion for this, or it's over, maybe. Either way, there's an expansion coming out for this. You can win a copy of the standard version of this, and all you have to do is email us at contest@dicetower.com. In the subject line, put the word disasters, because that's what the expansion added. And you have to answer the questions, how many players does Mosaic play up to?
I can't see.
Yeah, okay.
All right, good.
Yeah, you got to figure that out. So that's our contest. Hey, we're late because we just got back from Gen Con, and we have breakfast tomorrow. So you're getting 2 breakfasts in a row. So there's that. And we got other live things coming up today. Z will be doing what's happening, but I'll mention that in a bit. For now, let's start with some contributors.
Hi everyone, it's Tyrant.
And Stella here from Maple University. Today I'm just going to say that I'm going to Gen Con! Well, hence the t-shirt. T-shirt person.
Indeed, I mean the t-shirt is from a previous Gen Con, but nevertheless.
Well, I have not been to any US conventions for a while due to the health crisis, but this is the first overseas convention that I will be going to since then.
Indeed, very exciting.
So, what's your plan? Are you buying games? You want to get games? I'm mainly going to see people there. I'm very excited to see the crews from the Dice Tower, for example. We are coming all the way from Australia. I say I, not you, because Terrence not coming. And
I'm not coming. I'll be holding fort at home.
Holding fort, that's right. And I'll be bringing suitcases in suitcase just in case. I will be bringing a lot of games, but maybe I'll see you. Very excited. I will be flying for 36 or 38 hours, I think.
Including the stops.
Including the stops at San Francisco. So I'm planning to go to Fisherman's Pier. Anyway, this is my travel blog now. But let me know if you are going to Gen Con or you have suggestions of what games you're excited about at Gen Con, or the things I can do at San Francisco while layover.
Indeed.
That's it, and hopefully I will see you there. And thanks for watching. Bye.
Have a good trip.
Oh, thank you. Bye.
What is up? My name is Matthew McCack, and this is Smashing Buttons and Slamming Cards. This is a segment where I talk about a video game I love and I connect it to a board game I love. And this week, I'm going to do something a little bit different just because a lot has happened for me that are really exciting, crazy, awesome things. One is I got back from Dice Tower East, which was my first Dice Tower convention. I had an absolute blast. I was in the hot games area, teaching games, playing games with folks. I was really excited to meet a bunch of you. For those I did not get to meet, I hope I get to meet you at the next one. Another thing is I wound up getting married. What? Yeah, so I have a wife now, which is like crazy. What? Wife? What? Something I wanted to talk about because I came back from Dice Tower East. One of the things that I love to do at conventions is to get a board game that I know something about, but not a whole lot. It's kind of a little bit of an impulse buy. And the game for me that I wound up getting was Merchants of the Dark Road. So this game I played a couple of times, and then I wound up watching the Dice Tower's Foursquare review, and there was a lot of things I disagreed with, and I don't have time to go through all of it in this little segment here. But I will say that a lot of it was that there's too much randomness and not a whole lot of control. Totally disagree. There's mitigation with that, and I think that the game offers itself to adaptability. I think that's what you're supposed to be doing. You're a merchant in the Dark Road, which takes me to my next point where like the theme doesn't really come out. That's what was said. I highly disagree with that. I think the theme is totally there. You are a merchant. It's a pick up and deliver game. What more do you want? My rating would have been an 8.5, but definitely check out their review and see a more in-depth thing about it. But anyway, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like, you can check out mine and my brother's channel called Room 51. I'll catch you next time.
It's Mike. If we're frozen, we just have to let it go, let it go.
Well,
No, unplug that one again and plug it back in.
trying to do a different port. Hi, everybody.
There we
There
go.
we go. Hey, we're back.
Okay, Settlers of Canaan.
We need to switch that cam link out because I had that problem yesterday. Hey, everybody. Today we're going back 20 years ago and taking a look at the Settlers of Canaan. Now, you said yesterday, Wendy,
Yes.
that you played a different Settlers game. What was it called again?
Settlers of Zarahemla.
There it is. That came out in 2003.
Oh, we could cover this
Oh.
next year.
We will not because I did not play it.
20 years ago.
So
when-
Settlers of Canaan came out in 2002 from Cactus Game Design, and the Settlers of, how do you pronounce it?
Zarahemla.
Zarahemla came out from Inspiration Games. There's a lot of similarities in them to some degree that they were both versions of Catan, and both of them got played by people here in the studio before they played actually Catan. Because I played this before I played
Really?
Catan, and you said you played the other one before
What's
you played
different
Catan.
about this one?
This one has a singular map, so it's a map of Israel, Catanified, and you can spend resources to help build Solomon's temple. So it's an
Okay.
extra thing you can do. That's it.
Sounds a lot like your one.
Yeah.
What didn't you say that yours came
Her
with?
one?
Yeah. Yours came with like strips of terrain, so it wasn't like a single map.
Yeah, you just had the strips of terrain, so you could only move them this way.
But you could contribute stone to build up the temple because
I don't even remember that part, so sure.
I read about it.
Ooh, Chris read
this
about it.
famed Settlers of Zarahemla.
So I've actually given Settlers of Canaan a 7. I give Settlers Catan a 6. So there's that. This one has more room to move on the board because it's a slightly bigger board. And I like the theme. And I like that this exists. I like that games like this exist because if this is in, let's say, your local Bible bookstore, this is better than, I would say 90%, but it's better than 100% of all the games that are there. Because they're trash. I mean,
There are so many.
they're worse than trash. I hate them all.
I had so many people come up to me at the last few conventions and talk about like the Bible themed game review that I did, and I was a little bit concerned what the reception of that was going to be. But most people were like, "Thank you for mentioning that," because I absolutely agree. So many things are just terrible games with like a theme slapped on it. At least this is a solid game.
Right, it's,
With a churchy
it's
theme,
still
but
a
yeah.
theme slapped on it, but the designer's Klaus Teuber, and I'm pretty sure he did it himself. So it's not like he's copying his own game. There might have been some
interesting.
development work in it, but it actually also came out in Germany. Although the one in Germany is a little bit different. Instead of having the building, it's building Jerusalem, not the temple. There's 13 hero cards that generate God's help. So I don't know that. I've never played that. But this is similar to historical scenarios that they do for Catan. And so I like this one. I don't have it any longer. There is the benefit of that Catan does have over this is that the grid changes, and but I like having that extra thing to spend stuff on, which is why Seafarers is a good expansion for Catan.
Yeah.
Because it gives
Sure.
you something extra to
Something else
do.
to do.
Catan is a little too basic for me. And even for a lot of people, there's like, oh, what do I do now? You just try to build the longest road or whatever. So anyway, Settlers of Canaan, 20 years old. Cactus Game Design has they've made some of the better biblical games. They're best known for Redemption, the CCG.
The CCG. Okay.
And The Journeys of Paul, but they also made Bible Taboo and Apples Bible Edition. So I'm not freeing them from their guilt in many of these things.
Are the adjectives like repentant and
It's pretty terrible.
man.
like
I
really,
played it.
really on the nose?
That came out 2006. That one I gave a 6 to because it's apples to apples. And I immediately mixed it with regular apples to apples. Just
After
because
dark.
there's more things. Although
Yeah.
there's some cards I took out because some cards you border on sacrilege if
That's
you
what I was
play them in the
wondering.
wrong way.
I was like,
That was my concern. In fact, I may have
it
actually
makes it not funny. It just
I may
makes
have
it
actually said that
uncomfortable.
in the thing. I says, oh no, I said, I don't know why we're on apples to apples. Oh, but this game also mixes with other apples to apples games, although I'm thinking it's best kept as a separate entity. And I think I said something about, oh yes, there's a possibility of sacrilege or blasphemy occurring because of some of the cards that are on there.
Oh, sure,
So,
sure.
Oh, yeah.
anyhow, we're way off topic. Settlers of Canaan, one of the few, very few good Christian games.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Today we are looking at, I'm not even going to try and pronounce it,
Die Vandalen Term, The Wandering Towers.
what he said. 2 to 6 player game, Abacus Spiel. This is a great little memory game and race game.
Yeah, so this is a fab little, it's a 30-minute game, even if you're playing it with 6 players, and it really kind of is. Very exciting. You've basically got a circular track which you move around clockwise. You've got a certain number of wizards depending on the player count, and you basically want to get your wizards into the Dark Raven Tower.
Obviously.
Very simple. Along the way, you need to fill your potion bottles, and you do that by covering other wizards with parts of the towers that you
towers
can
move.
move. Yeah. So you move towers
Magically.
and cover wizards, and then you get a potion. You have to fill all your potion bottles before you get your wizards into the tower. That's it.
Great game.
Take it in turns, and you basically move your wizards by playing movement cards. You've got 3 cards, and you move 2 each time.
Yep.
You're going to move the towers or the wizards. You can move towers with wizards on. You can move wizards on their own. You can cover it.
Lots of tactics
Hilarious.
involved, trapping other people, trying to remember where you've put yours.
That's the trick of it. I mean, Kramer and Kiesling, great designers, and we love this design. Such a simple premise, but basically, where
You can't
did
keep track of your 5.
where-
5 wizards you can't
where
keep
did your
track of them.
wizards get hidden by towers
It's
by the
quite
other
fun.
players?
I watched
Hilarious.
2,
Yeah.
and as well as up to 6.
Really great game, so thoroughly recommend this one. The best bit is when you when you put a wizard into the Dark Tower, it moves around the racetrack as well, so you're constantly chasing this tower. It's hilarious. Really good fun. Lots of take that in there.
Yes.
Thoroughly recommend this one. Check out the full review on our channel, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers, everybody.
Bye.
An amazing game that we advise for 2 players. Come on, you guys, be quiet! Okay, we are shooting. Kids, be quiet, please. Love you. An amazing game that we advise for 2 players is Spirits of the Wild. Dylan, can you be quiet? 60 seconds. Come here. You want to talk? All right. Say what you have to say and then go. Say what you have to say and then go. Go. All right. You said what you wanted to say. Now you be quiet. An amazing game that we suggest for 2 players is Spirits of the Wild. The game packs a lot, but in a nutshell, each player has the same set of 7 cards, each entailing a different action. The core of the game would be moving gems from special stones from a bag into a ball and then into your board, in your special board with 5 different animals. And you will be playing stones of different colors on these animals, each having his own scoring condition. The player with the most points at the end of the game wins the game. Crazy card, how you win Spirits of the Wild.
Well, part of winning this game is when you're trying to find stones that you'd like for scoring, you want to be mindful of what your opponent is also trying to get. There's also a coyote in this game where you can place it to block your scoring. Be in mind Be careful though, because that carry can come right back at you, boomerang style.
Woo, and that's my sign again. Thank you guys for checking it out. Spirits of the Wild. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Great quality production, right?
Yes, very good game.
Check it out.
All right, this week starts today. Well, I mean, it started yesterday. We did an unboxing of Gen Con stuff, and we did it at the table. And there was a Gen Con blog on Monday.
With a very okay guest.
Meh.
You said that, not me. But today, we're really starting. We're going to do some We'll Play It Lives today of just games, and we're just playing them and seeing how they work. Z's doing What's Happening. We got crowd surfing and Q&A today. Tomorrow, Board Game Breakfast Part 2. More We'll Play It Live. We're going to be doing We'll Play It Live all week. Although tomorrow we're also doing a back talk where we're going to just talk about Gen Con 2022 and our thoughts on that. Then there's some reviews going up over the weekend, and we're also going to repost the top 5 list that we did at Gen Con, our top 5 turnoffs in games. Not only are we doing that, we're also posting a look at family games, family board games, a game store that we went to in Indianapolis.
Family time games.
Family time games is what I said.
It's time for family.
Maybe I should
And
type
some
that here in the
games.
document. Anyway, we'll be back to normal next week, but hopefully this is some content that you will enjoy. So let's keep going.
Good morning, Board Game Breakfast. My name is Amanda Polk, and I wanted to share with you 3 games that I think are great for taking on a vacation or a getaway with friends. So the first game is It's a Wonderful World. I think this game is great because with the expansion it goes up to 6 people. So if you have a decent sized group but you don't want to play a party game, 6 people can play this with the expansion. And everyone's always doing something because it is card drafting based, and you've always got a hand of cards to be looking at and something to be doing. So It's a Wonderful World, great game. Also, Roll for the Galaxy, another one with a lot of simultaneous play. Everybody is rolling their dice and assigning them to different phases and actions to be able to pay for tiles and put them out and build their tableau and have the most points at the end. We actually, sometimes this game, we feel like it goes too fast, and we will house rule it so that you get to put more tiles out so that we get to keep rolling those dice and building those engines. But Roll for the Galaxy, this is another really fun one. And then finally, new this year to our vacation gaming library is Gods Love Dinosaurs. This is one where you're drafting tiles, where then you get to place critters on the tiles, and then they'll activate when columns of tiles have all been drafted. The prey will reproduce, the predators eat the prey, the dinos eat the predators, and the dinos lay eggs, and the dinos and the eggs are points at the end. And there you go, now you know how to play it. But those are 3 games that all go up to at least 5 players. You can learn them and teach them pretty quickly and easily, and I don't think any of these will go over an hour and a half. They're usually around an hour each. So it's a good feeling game, weight, but plays pretty quickly so that you can get to the beach or wherever else you're trying to get to for vacation. So that's all for me. Hope you're having a great breakfast. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
There's no such thing as a free lunch. That's not quite true. I've been given many free lunches in my life.
Yes.
But basically,
they do take your time, though. There's an opportunity cost because you could have been eating a different free lunch, Tom.
I always thought-
Nothing is free in this.
I always thought that
Green planet.
statement was like someone else paid for it. Whether or not you paid for it, somebody else did.
well, sure, but basically it's saying nothing is actually truly free, because if someone pays for your lunch, they're expecting a favor in response or whatever.
You can steal food. It's a victimless crime.
All right. Sometimes I'm gonna go back to Tom Thinks by myself at some point. But anyhow, free stuff. And I thought of because at Gen Con, I was talking to a booth and I asked, some people were running in. And they said that some people run in and just go up to each booth and say, what do you have that's free?
Yep.
Yeah, we got people like that.
Okay. So I don't understand that philosophy, because anything you ever get for free at these booths, unless it's some like the first 50 people get a copy of Mosaic, it's not really anything you want. Why do you want?
Which didn't happen, by the way.
No. Well, actually, at our booth, we gave out free games for a brief moment in time.
Brief moment in time.
Yeah,
You had to earn them by rolling dice down a tower, for example.
Sure, but you rolled dice
Three
down a
of a
tower and you
kind.
won something small for free. But that whole idea of getting something for free, you come back with a bag full of just nonsense.
Oh, yeah.
This swag from conventions. You got pins and buttons and one of a set of dice. And pamphlets. People grab pamphlets. I mean, when I was a kid, I went to the farm show and I grabbed everything that they had for free. Sometimes it's candy, but sometimes just pamphlets, and I had all these pamphlets. They're great, but I actually don't need a John Deere tractor. But
Did you like cut them out and make crafts with them?
No. But
Okay, well, I did as a kid.
well, sure, you can do that, but it's still, this fixation on free stuff worries me about our hobby sometimes. I mean, I'm also worried, don't get me wrong, over the glut of games that cost $400 or $500 because we're pricing people out of the hobby. But free is not necessarily good. At Dice Tower East, at the very end of Dice Tower East, we had some extra games. Games that we had given out to everyone at the con. And we said they're free, quietly, to some people. And it was almost a riot of people going, because it's free. And that's just a little surprising to me. I get that we like free stuff, but I'm just naturally suspicious of free stuff because if it's free, why am I not paying for it? If the play that I'm going to is free, how much effort did they put into that play?
What's the philosophy? If you have an old piece of furniture you want someone to pick up off the curb, you don't put a sign on that says free. You put up a sign that says $5, and then someone will steal it.
Okay. I mean, but things do have inherent value, and you can get things for free. We have contests on our, we have a contest here for Mosaic. That's free, but it's advertising purposes. I just think it's weird that people run around and ask for stuff free at conventions. I mean, people came by our booth and asked for free stuff.
Yeah.
Legit did, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the last day.
The last day, we had a couple ladies that came by and they said, "Oh, well, I'll take these stuffies off your hand for free. If you want to get rid of stuff, so you don't have to bring it back."
Well, I guess there is, and I also believe in that you don't get what you don't ask for.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. So
That's
I mean,
true.
I applaud your aspirations for that, and some booths do get rid of stuff. Roy has a sign that he got for free from a company who was just going to throw it away.
You can get cool. I mean, there are funny stories. We'll go over to some friend's house back in the day, and he had a Master Chief cardboard cutout. He's like, "Yeah, GameStop was just going to throw it away. I asked if I could have it, and they said yes." There is something weird to be said about that. But yeah, the most of the free stuff you get. If you want 7,000 pens, go to an accounting conference.
Ooh, you got me there.
Well, I do want actually 7,000 pens. But there's the whole, here's a free card for a game that's a CCG, and now here are the packs that you can buy. And that's actually good marketing philosophy. I just think many times we get so caught up in free stuff that we actually are missing really good stuff that we can pay for and get.
Now I'm really curious. How do you feel about people taking pamphlets for things that they're never going to use or look at?
I think it's a waste.
Yeah.
That's why, so in Korea, I was always fascinated by, they would hand pamphlets out. Like, there's this one place I went to, there's a tunnel, that I went through this tunnel and went to an electronics market. So they're handing out pamphlets at the beginning. And then there's like a nice little garbage can, just a nice garbage can that people were putting them in on the end, and they were taking them, stacking them, and going back and giving it to the first person.
Until someone spits their gum in the can.
No, it wasn't for that. It was specifically
like
for
on
these
purpose,
pamphlets,
okay.
and then they took them and recycled them. And I thought, that makes sense.
Great.
Because if there's anything I hate, it's when you hand pamphlets and people immediately throw it on the ground. You just threw my money away.
Yeah.
Don't take it if you don't want it.
Pamphlets
now,
are expensive to make.
Obviously, there's a person who's like, "Do you want a pamphlet?" You're like, yes, I'll take this pamphlet. But I don't know. I mean, pamphlet's much smaller, so it's not that big of a deal.
Next time I have a pamphlet, I'm going to stick it right in your face, Tom.
You've never had someone like really, like...
Oh, we're from Las Vegas, Tom.
Duh, I mean...
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, I forgot where we're at. Free swag.
We were talking about Christian apples to apples.
Anyway, I get the idea of running around and wanting free stuff. It's just that, well, let me ask you this. You're going out to eat. Mm-hmm. You have some money. Not a lot. You have like a normal life. And someone offers to pay for lunch, but it's at a place that you're kind of just okay with. Do you take the free okay lunch, or do you pay to go where you want to eat?
I'm going to
that's
overanalyze
an
this time.
interesting
There's so many factors in here. No, I mean, I'm...
Okay, so let's say it's a food court.
Like, it really depends
So
on
you're going to
the
eat together
person.
anyway. You're going to
Okay.
eat together anyway.
Got it.
It depends on the relationship with the person.
It's a
more
great
than it depends
relationship.
on-
You're fine. Nothing will change whether you take the free lunch or not.
I'd probably take the free lunch. I'm real cheap.
Yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, yeah, if I don't have some sort of vehement disagreement with it, never split the party. I learned this.
See, I would not. I would
eat
go
what
by
you
what I
want?
wanted, if possible. Because I've learned that you do the free, so that you allow the rich people sometimes to dictate your decisions. You know, like, oh, you know, I learned this one time we were in Korea when the guy's like, we're going here for lunch. I'm like, I don't want, no one wants to go. He's like, I'll pay. And I was like, fine, we'll go there. And this happened 4 days in a row. And by the 5th day, I was like, I'm eating where I want to eat.
Sure, yeah.
Because we are kind of, I don't know.
Because you saved all that money and now you can buy exactly what you want.
Yeah, I guess.
There you go.
Anyhow,
Pick and choose your battles.
free swag. All right, let's move on.
Hey there everyone, it's Jen, the board game librarian, flipping some pages and pushing some cubes in my segment from the page to the table where I pair books and board games together that share a common theme. This week I'm taking a look at something that takes me way back, and I've held on to this forever, but this is The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. And I bring up this particular version because it came with one of those audio cassettes. Remember for when some of us were a certain age and they had that? There were books and cassettes together. But Glenn Close reads this, and I remember being a kid and listening to this over and over and over again and just being entranced by this kind of creepy story that was moderately age appropriate, and just being captivated by this. The story of this headless horseman going around and wreaking havoc in this kind of quiet New York town. But this is a super popular tale that is everywhere of sorts, and even now in board games, I'm sure you've guessed already. But this is The Legends of Sleepy Hollow, recently released from Greater Than Games, designed by Ben Pinchback and Matt Riddle. It's a cooperative game and takes place after the events of Sleepy Hollow. So you are playing a one of 4 players, and you're going on these missions, kind of campaign style, where you are looking to find Ichabod. What happened to Ichabod? Is he truly alive? Is he dead? Kind of a really gothic-y horror board and art style and cooperative gameplay, which I think if you're a fan of the tale, I think you'll like this too. But that's all for this week, friends. Happy breakfast.
Hello, Proti here, your Romanian content creator, and today I will continue my series where I will talk about a specific part of a game, and today we will talk about Architects of the West Kingdom. Architects of the West Kingdom is a worker placement game which has interesting, let's say, 2 mechanics with that worker placements, actually 3, because you start with all the possible workers that you can have in the game and you will send them out on different spots to work. The interesting part is that the spot where you're going, and if you have already workers there, then the spot is much more improved and is giving you a better action if you have more workers over there. And then there is the capture mechanic where you can capture from a location the workers of different players, put it on your board, and then afterwards putting them into jail so that you get some money out of it. So really interesting. You are trying to build different buildings, build on the cathedral, and after a certain amount of builds, the end game triggers, and the person, of course, with the most points wins. You can, what is interesting and what I wanted to discuss is you can hire this helper, so to say. I cannot find the word now how they are called in the game, but they are helper cards which you are putting in front of you, and you are benefiting for their ability. You have some abilities which are happening, for example here, when you are going to the black market, you have one ability, and there is an ability in the moment when you buy it. So it's different from helper to helper, and it's giving you here a symbol which is helping you when you want to build building cards. But I wanted to talk specifically about this illusionist, which I really like, because in the game you can go on the black market and get some nice resources, but you lose like this reputation. so to say, virtue. And here, if you have this card, you can go on the black market and don't lose virtue. And it's quite flexible, this card, and let you push the black market. This is what I wanted to discuss about in Architects of the West Kingdom. Have a nice breakfast.
When I go to Gen Con, I go look to buy dice. I always do. And I bought way fewer dice than I normally do because I was planning to buy a lot.
Proud of you, Tom.
Really?
I'm proud of myself, actually. Well, not really. I'll show you why. So I bought 2 different sets of dice here. So
hello.
The first set in the middle there, we actually use these. Actually, that's not the whole set. That's only half the set. I got double that amount for like $20.
I'm ashamed of you, Tom.
Okay.
And they're infused dice, and these actually, well, considering Chris's hands look quite yellow in this picture, they look better in person than they do in the thing there, but they look fantastic. The big deal, especially, is that 4-sided die, which is in the middle there.
Which is super cool.
I really like this die.
I do
It
too.
rolls so well. It's easy to read instantly, and it doesn't poke your feet when you land a 4. See the other 4-sided die, the black die there, that's what they traditionally look like, and that one there is so sharp that Chris actually could cut his finger on it. Do you agree? Feeling that?
Oh, genuinely. If I like squeezed a little bit too hard,
that die is.
I would be done.
Is it like Spiky Dastards?
I would need like a tetanus shot.
No, it's sharper than that,
sharper
actually.
than
Yeah,
that, wow.
those are sharp dice. But anyway, the infused dice in the middle, absolutely fantastic. I'd give them 9 out of 10. You can read them. They're very clear. They roll well. I love them. The outside set, which is why I didn't buy any more dice because these were quite expensive. That set is, well, I think $70 it cost me or whatever. I know.
Wow.
But I bought them because they're magnetic. So, neat. Now, here's a couple problems with magnetic dice. First of all, there is no use to them whatsoever. Rolling a pair of magnetic dice, so I'm not sure what the point is. Is there a 10-sided
Cheating?
in there?
The point is cheating,
There's
Tom.
a tenor.
Yeah, so there's a 10 and a 100. So you could roll those together and see if you can not connect them. Like roll them like right in front of you like you would normally. 95. Now roll together. I want to see if it's leave them together this time. I want to see if they
Okay, sorry. So this is 28, I think.
Okay, now don't mess them up. Just roll them. So there is some change.
2 or 68.
Yeah, but
62.
the parts that are connected, you'll never see those numbers.
Yeah, that is hilarious.
Okay, I was very excited about these because I like magnetic dice, and I was like, we're going to use these in our giant dice tower, and I did it, I think, 3 times. I didn't tell people. I'm like, here, roll them one by one. But the problem is, these are sharp dice. No joke. Now, this is people who are like super dice snobby. People... Chris is trying to kill children. People are super dice snobby, say that sharper dice roll better. And technically that's true. There's a more even spread. But they don't roll very far. Like, Chris, roll that 4-sided die. It just kind of plops. It doesn't roll.
Versus this. Boom!
And that's just, I'm sorry, I don't care what you say, dice snobs. It is more satisfying to see your die bounce a little bit before it rolls.
Yeah.
Rather than it just plop down. So anyhow, the expense mixed up with the fact that these aren't very usable, mixed up with the fact that they're very sharp and kind of dangerous, honestly, I can't really recommend them.
I would guess they'd be for like magic tricks. Like if you have like a piece of metal and like a piece of paper or something thin over the top, and then you like say, ooh, I'm going to guess what number you roll, and then they roll it, and it
I would then
just
immediately want to touch the die. Magic trick only works if it's not an obvious thing.
Yeah,
I think I would
you'd have to
notice
use
a
one die
magnetic
at a time. You can't use 2 dice because they'd stick to each other. But if you just held one of these dice, you wouldn't know it's magnetic. You would just feel like it's a heavy die.
Sure.
And then if you roll it and it always rolls the same side.
But how would that work? It only works if it's magnetic on one side.
Aren't they, well, isn't there a positive and a negative to the magneticness?
Oh, that's a good question.
So I would assume that if you rolled it on something magnetic, it would only magnet on one side.
No, because it could still get the sides. Anyway, not worth your time. I was sorry I got them because, again, it kept me from buying other dice that I would have preferred to buy. And I could have bought like 3 more packs of those diffusion dice, which I went by and looked at, and I was like, Anyhow, so that's dice. So thumbs up for one, thumbs down for the other.
Ow. On today's episode of Charlie's Quick Reviews, we're going to be looking at bugs in the kitchen.
What's the deal? Tabletop board games is what I do. Charlie gonna hit you with the quick review.
Here are the high points. It's compact. Everything is in one tiny little box. There's practically no setup time. You just open the box and play. It's silly, fun, easy for kids and adults. It's entertaining, and you could easily upgrade this game by adding real bugs.
There you go.
Look what I got in here. Look.
What?
I got a cricket.
A cricket?
Yeah, don't let him get out. Yeah, what's up?
Container.
No, don't put any water in there.
Daddy, can I kill him?
No, don't kill him. Do you think he'll fit on the bugs in the kitchen game?
No. He's a frog.
You're trying to get him in here, I'm trying to get him in there, okay? Okay, let's see. Dump the bugs out. There he is. Okay, let's see how he does. Okay, he's going around. Oh, he looks like he was going to mine. Where does he go? Oh, yeah, he's in mine. Where's the other one?
No.
Oh, he's cheating. He's cheating. Think he's going to be a cheater?
I think so.
Okay, he's on the field. He's on the field. Let's see how he does. Oh, he's squeezing between. Look, he went in yours. Oh, look, he's pretending to be dead. What a faker. Let's see how the frog does. Okay. I think this game is more fun with the bugs, huh?
Is this game fun? It's fun for kids for like a few minutes, then they get over it. It gets boring really quick. For adults, it would be a ton of fun if you can modify the game, but honestly, it would work best for kids and kids only. Kids and adults playing together, I just don't think it'll work that well.
Which bug was your favorite? This bug, the bugs we caught, or the frog?
Frog.
Why was the frog your favorite?
Because the dogs I was cheating.
So would you recommend everyone get a frog for this game?
Yeah.
Just make sure you have enough batteries, because that's seriously the only way to play.
Holy moly, everyone, I'm Jeff and I am back. Welcome to the Treehouse, a 600 square foot dedicated gaming space parked atop our detached garage at our new residence here in beautiful Ashland, Virginia. The first thing I want to do in this video is give a shout out to a Dice Tower viewer by the name of James Cartwright. See, we had movers putting our stuff onto a truck the very day that my last episode of Board Game Breakfast aired, in which I mentioned that we were moving somewhat against our will and I wouldn't be around for a little while. And James put this into the live chat. I saw this comment the next day while I was surrounded by U-Haul boxes in a new residence that of course was a complete mess. And I gotta say, James, no, this certainly isn't true, but it absolutely made my entire month. I had a great laugh, and for that, I just really wanted to say thank you. So, as with any new space, especially after a move, I had to figure out how to set up my new game room. And I wanted to share with you my preferred way of organizing my games. I know everyone has different ways of organizing their games. Some do it by color, which certainly does look pretty cool, or by theme, or by designer, or even by nationality. Some folks will even store them however they can fit them into their living space, and I can certainly appreciate that. But over the past couple of years, I've taken to organizing my games based on my perceived level of difficulty. On the left are the lighter dexterity games, or games for kids. And on the right, the open world games, the heavy Euros, and the brain-melting Lacerdas. In the middle, I've tucked my smaller games, games I haven't played yet, and a few solo-only games. I really like this method of organization because every member of my family can quickly find their favorite games to pull off the shelf. When I'm loading up games to take to a game night, I can focus on a particular area of the collection based on the interest of the folks I'm going to go play with. And on that note, I got some folks on the way here soon, so I better get ready. It's really great to see all of you again. I really hope you like the new space. You'll certainly be seeing more of it very soon. Cheers.
All right, that bug segment, my favorite segment in a long time. I would not try it with actual bugs, because I hate bugs. If my son said, may I kill it, I would be like, yes.
I have no desire to pick up bugs. Would you do it with lizards?
I wouldn't kill lizards.
No, would you play the game with lizards?
I'd be worried that I would hurt the lizards.
Yeah.
I mean, they can take some beating, lizards around here. You know, their tails fall off and what have you.
Yeah, we have some cool.
But I still wouldn't. I would feel worse. I feel no shame about killing any bug in existence, I will gladly do it. When Holly was a little child, she came in one time and she showed Laura a cockroach that she had found, one of those giant cockroaches. And Laura immediately smashed it, and then Holly cried for a long time. Side note, Holly is now fearsomely afraid of cockroaches, so I don't know what changed in her life. Anyhow, that's our show. We'll be back in 20 minutes with We'll Play It Live, so we'll see you then. And like I said, lots of different live things going up over the course of the day. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Wendy Yee.
I'm Chris Yee.
Go back to the beginning and see how you can win a copy of Mosaic. We'll see you.
Thanks for watching Board Game Breakfast. Tune in each week for your daily dose of gaming goodness with Tom Vassell and all the gang. Until next time, I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast, a Dice Tower production.